Hey, Chris. Thank you for giving me a chance to tell my story. I remember the first time I heard Napalm Death and thinking like, wow, it's really cool that a band can be brutal and talk about intelligent things that affect all of us. I loved I loved metal. I loved, the evil shit, but it was really cool to see a band that was socially and politically oriented with their songwriting and their lyrics. I also remember the first time I heard Suffocation, and I opened up the CD book for Effigy of the Forgotten and saw the band photo and was blown away by Terrence Hobbs and Mike Smith, seeing these two black men just obliterating, shredding the shit out of the world musically, and putting on an amazing show live. And one of the things that I also loved about the metal scene is when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, it was possible, at least in the DC area, for some of these bands, when they came to town, you'd be able to hang out with them. So it was great to actually be able to meet, Barney, and it was cool to be in the same room and drink beers with the dudes from Suffocation. That was not without its downsides. I definitely remember hearing the N-word being dropped by the singer from Deceased, and basically setting Mike from Suffocation off and, almost ruining a really good time. And it's really sad that in a scene where everyone hates authority and wants to buck the system, that, you can't get past dumb shit like that. So that being said, I want to tell a story about the first time I was ever profiled. Now, I'm 19, big old metalhead, baby dreads, black t-shirt, black jeans, black combat boots, and I'm waiting at the bus stop, about to go to work. And a police officer pulled up and turned on the lights and got out of his car and proceeded to question me. He asked me where I was coming from, what I was doing, which is weird because I was waiting for the bus, where I was going, which is on my way to work, and how long I had been there. And I, told him everything I told him the truth. I'm waiting, I live around the corner. I'm waiting for the bus. I'm going to work. And he proceeded to ask, I asked him why I was being stopped. And he proceeded to tell me that I fit the description of a person that was breaking into houses in the neighborhood. This is in Silver Spring, Maryland, not too far from the DC line. And when I asked what he looked like, the officer told me that the suspect was a young black male with braids in his hair, a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and sneakers. Again, I'm baby dreads, black t-shirt, black pants, combat boots. Explained to him, this is what I'm wearing, this is where I've been, and his response is, you could have changed your clothes. So while this is happening, my bus pulls up, slows down, stops for a second, and then keeps on going. A couple minutes after the bus leaves, the officer gets a call on the radio, and lets me go on about my business. My boss, I was late for work, but my boss was cool. It was great to be able to not be taken into custody for false identification or, being falsely identified. But the one thing that sticks with me from that day so long ago is the looks on the faces of the people on the bus when it stopped. And most of them looked at me as if because I was being stopped by the cops, like I had done something wrong. it really shook me. I can still see some of their faces, people shaking their heads and poo-pooing when I'm just a young 19-year-old black man trying to take the bus to work. So it was really disheartening. Yeah, that's my story. Racism is bullshit. Black lives matter. Black voices matter. And we should do the most metal thing that we can possibly do, and that's smash racism in its fucking face. Thank you for giving me this space, Chris. Love you, brother.